I'm offering a conceptual framework where the energy centers, the vortices known as chakras in Vedic science, can be understood as quantum interface nodes. Now, in the traditional systems, Vedic, Tantric, Buddhist, these chakras are energy centers described as such in the subtle body, your energetic, bioenergetic construct. And what I am offering is a reframed version, or another way to understand, access these concepts as quantum interface nodes. And each center, and keep in mind these colors are understood as frequencies, as vibrations, as on the electromagnetic spectrum, visual spectrum. But these color frequencies, these energies, they correspond and become resonant transducers between your individual consciousness and universal information fields. The Akash, the Akashic field, the 0 point field, cosmic plasma, the morphogenetic information field. And as such, these quantum interface nodes become multidimensional gateways. And as such, are capable of collapsing probabilistic reality states into observable phenomena. And as such, as an assemblage point where subtle energy, intention, and perception converge to form coherent experience. Each node is not merely a locus of energy, but a dynamic entanglement site where internal states and external quantum fields interact. Simply put, where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Most people's energy, I don't think it would be remiss to say most people's energies are around the sexual energy center. And as such, as it's easy to understand in a more simple fashion, these internal states, if that's what you're focused on, these, sex energy, then that's what your reality will mostly be. Will mostly be involved in pursuits like that, and not much else. So I'm offering also an anatomical and functional mapping of these assemblage points, of these quantum resonance centers. And at the bottom, at the base of the spine, this root, this Muladhara, anchors your physical reality. I mean, we experience hunger. We're giving thoughts to what we're eating. Sometimes, people more so than others. But at some point, your energies are involved in this survival. Taking care of yourself, washing your body, survival, staying alive. If you ride, if you're out into the world today, incidentally, there's a lot of aggressive energy out there. But this is a low frequency energy. 1 to 16 hertz. This is an earth resonance. And then moving on up, we have the sacral in the pelvic region, generates creative potential and probability morphing, interfaces with emotional resonance field. Fluidic and emotions, these waveforms are around 18 to 200 hertz. And the solar plexus, the Manipura, the solar plexus, collapses in a quantum state, personal power, and will into physical action, interacts with karmic, ego, probability matrices, and your personal force resonance is 200 to 500 hertz. Now, the magic begins in the heart, the Anahata chakra. This connects individual consciousness to universal unity, acts as entanglement hub for relational and planetary coherence. And truly, when the heart energy becomes active, this heart center is active, this is where the magic begins, I believe, as this is the center, this is the bridge from the lower animal nature to the higher divine nature. And we have the throat center, the Vishuddha. This interfaces with language and thought fields, collapses ideas into understandable, communicable reality, where your word is your wand, your resonance, your frequency resonance, the power of your word, spoken word, is truly divine. Manifestation occurs. Third eye, forehead, probability clouds, timelines, multidimensional potentials. And then the crown is full entanglement with cosmic source. This is when you open this center, when the energies have, when you've managed to allow the energies of the survival construct to flow, to find their level, and they flow through the heart and begin to open. And then the crown opens. This is full entanglement. You're connected to source. 0 point collapses universal probabilities into aligned expression, to integration, alignment. This is pure field resonance. And this engenders itself to quantum interface, to action, to bending reality to your will when all energies are in alignment. There is no imp of the perverse to be accounted for. You are in alignment. You are no longer your own worst enemy. And you're able to pay attention to create practices of quantum decoherence. You're doing away with the noise in the field and focusing, tuning into pure signal from source. And so each chakra, each quantum interface, each quantum node functions as a local observer. When the system begins to harmonize in the quantum sense, collapsing probabilistic superpositions into concrete experience. And this is emotional. Your mental and your spiritual states act as wave function modulators. Entanglement hubs. These assemblage points are highly entangled with external fields. Once this coherence is achieved, planetary, solar, cosmic fields become harmonic, harmonized, coherent, in congruence, in eternal cosmic congruence. The heart chakra entangles with Lady Gaia's, Mother Earth's magnetic and plasma fields. The third eye entangles with multidimensional probability grids, the Akashic, the 0 point, and we achieve resonance amplification. These nodes can amplify or attenuate incoming signals. Intentional focus, breath, mantra, and meditative states tune the node to desired frequencies, altering perception and influencing material probabilities. Where cross-chakra superposition takes place, when multiple chakras are coherently activated, the individual forms a nested quantum network, a self-referential holographic system capable of macrocosmic influence, essentially a living quantum antenna. You're bending reality to your divine will, to your focused intention. This is conscious reality engineering. This is living the life that you are meant to live. Activating chakras intentionally creates a cascade of probability collapse in your favor, shaping both subjective experience and subtle reality. Now, this also lends itself to dimensional navigation, to transcending duality, to leaving behind the tumultuousness of the third dimension, With precise tuning, these nodes can facilitate astral projection, remote sensing, remote viewing, or interfacing with higher order dimensional entities. And this achieves a collective coherence when multiple individuals and their chakras resonate coherently. A macro quantum entanglement field emerges, influencing planetary consciousness. Meditative grids, ley line harmonics, human morphogenetic fields become congruent. And there are, beyond the traditional, beyond the known, the well-known 7 energy quantum node interfaces, there are higher interfaces. And this is really only relevant when you have this crown chakra, the indigo energy, the indigo ray open and connected to source. That involves the soul star, the galactic star, the divine gateway, different names for it, but quantum uplinks to stellar and cosmic probability fields. This is when the universe is acting through you on your behalf according to your soul path and divine will. They act as a long-range interface nodes for interdimensional awareness. And these assemblage lattices, the chakras, are nodes in a larger body field lattice. Meridians, nadis, and auric layers form the connective tissue of a personal quantum network. Manipulating one node subtly affects others, like tuning one string on a quantum harp. And this ultimately results in resonance fields from the divine grid programmer, the creator, the source of all that is, coding layers. And consciousness encodes information into subtle fields. Chakras translate intention into vibrational signatures, which can then interact with universal probability matrices. But essentially, to begin to consider the bioenergetic construct that you are and the eternal energy awareness fractal of consciousness that you are in essence, to begin to understand these and begin to download this information into your awareness, to keep it at the forefront of your consciousness and your focus. This is where you achieve full power through the awakening of the God force and the protection of the quantum love of the all that is. Namaste, namaskaram.